Hi, I'm Abdugani Shehu here from your contentmart.co. In today's video, I want to show you how to build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand using opinionated content. Before I proceed, on this channel, I show you how different SaaS companies are growing their businesses using content marketing. If this is something that interests you, kindly subscribe to this channel so that you can receive notifications whenever I post new videos like this every week. So today's video will be walking you through exactly the litmus test that you need to conduct for your content right now, how you can build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand. I'll also show you how to leverage opinionated content. Then I will share with you how Groove built a $5 million per year business with its startup journey series. I will also share with you how Wistia founders show their vulnerability and acquire customers with opinionated content. And finally, I will show you exactly how you can start creating opinionated content for your SaaS business. So let's get started. So what is the litmus test you need to conduct for your content today? So the litmus test is simple, and that is I want you to right now search for any keyword that you rank for on Google, irrespective of your rankings for that specific keyword on Google, whether you're on the first page or the second page or even the 10th page, or even if you are not ranking at all. But if you are targeting any keyword, I want you to search for it on Google. And there's something that you observe when you do so. In most cases, you find out that there isn't any distinguishing factor between the content that you share or the content that you've written and what others are also writing for that piece of for that specific keyword. And the reason is simple. A lot of website owners, content marketers, content writers, a lot of them, or in most cases, especially if you are dealing with SEO content, what most people do is they follow the same specific procedure that you do. So, for instance, maybe you want to rank for a specific keyword, you search through the first page of Google to see exactly what the other websites are writing. Then you also write something similar, or even write something that is like quite more comprehensive than what they've written. That is the same procedure that everyone um, follows, and that is what animals refers to as copycat content. As you can see from this screenshot here, the input is from Article A, Article B, and Article C. And for most people, they will combine Article A, Article B, and Article C. And the output is what you see here, Article A, B, C. And the truth of the matter is that if you follow this strategy like other websites are doing, you see that there isn't any distinguishing factor between your content and others. If you can rank for a specific keyword, another website can also rank for that specific keyword. And what that means for your audience is that they are at a liberty to choose the kind of brand that they want to go for. Like there isn't anything unique. There isn't anything that distinguishes a specific SaaS brand from another SaaS brand. So that is the litmus test. If you can conduct it right now, I'm quite sure that you will see that most of the websites or most of the pages that are ranking on Google for a specific keyword are writing almost the same thing. So now, what exactly can you do to stand out? If you want to stand out, you need to do one thing, and that is you need to build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand. So, how exactly can you build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand? Is by creating content that cuts through the nose. So, when you create content that cuts through the nose, what that means is that you are doing something that others aren't doing. So, you are creating a specific type of content that other businesses in your niche aren't creating. So, and when you do so, it is quite much more easier for you to build a fan base. Like most of your readers, they will always want to come back to read from you. Most of your readers will trust you more. They will know you, they will like you, and they will want to do business with you. So, um how can you build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand? And that brings me to the next point, which is you leverage opinionated content. So what exactly is opinionated content? Opinionated content is different from SEO content. In most cases, opinionated content is where you share a specific opinion that you have about a specific topic in your industry. So the opinion that you have is about a topic, you share it with your audience, and that is exactly what is opinionated content. So in most cases, opinionated content usually differentiates you from others. It usually shows people exactly where you stand, and when you do so, you have more opportunity to like show your expertise to your audience. You have more opportunity to show your audience exactly what you are thinking. You have more opportunity to show your audience the challenges that you are facing. So, and that is why opinionated content works. So, what are some of the downsides of opinionated content? There are quite a lot of them, but these are some of the downsides. The first is that the traffic from opinionated content doesn't really compound. So what that means is that if you create opinionated content today, you might get a spike of traffic because a lot of people will be visiting your page, okay? But in the long run, you see that the traffic will suddenly go down. So that is one of the downsides of opinionated content. The traffic doesn't really compound. Another downside of opinionated content is that there's little to no search traffic to it related to it on Google. So most people are not really searching for like the keywords, or in most cases you are not even targeting any keywords with opinionated content, but most people aren't even searching for it. So another downside of opinionated content is that people tend to forget your opinion after some months or years. So your opinion might kind of be something that a lot of people remember today, but in a few months or years, they might even forget about it. Now, here is an example. In the content marketing industry today, okay, one of the most important topics right now is AI, artificial intelligence. So a lot of people want to know exactly how AI works, what will be the future of AI, how will AI affect content marketing, will AI replace human writers, and so on and so forth. So if, for instance, your SaaS brand is in the marketing niche, so this is something that you can do. You can create an opinionated content to share exactly what you feel, what you think about AI. So, what do you think the future of AI will look like? Do you think that AI will totally replace writers in the next few years to come, and so on and so forth? And you see that when you share this kind of content right now, it will be kind of it will gain a lot of traffic. A lot of people will read it. But in the long run, maybe like a year from now, or even 3 to 5 years from now, most people will forget about it. So that is those are some of the downsides of opinionated content. Now, the advantages of opinionated content are it helps you to establish credibility and authority. People will trust you more. They will see you as an expert in your industry. Another advantage is that it helps you to grow an audience of loyal fans for your SaaS brand. Another advantage is that it increases user signups and customers for your SaaS brand. And finally, it helps you to earn links naturally without begging for them. Now, let me show you some examples of opinionated content done right. The first one is from Groove. Groove is a startup that is in the customer support niche. So when they started, like they were doing content marketing, they invested in content marketing, but it wasn't actually working for them. So in the long run, they figured out that what they were doing is similar to what almost everyone in their niche is doing. So they now decided to change their approach to content marketing. And what they did was they started creating pieces of content, sharing their journeys, their learnings, and their experience growing their business. And they tagged that series, they tag it the Startup Journey series. So because most of their target audience are startup owners, so they started answering questions that they have. So now, one of these questions, as you can see here, is a blog post they wrote, how we fade our way to a day on the front page of Hacker News. Because a lot of startup owners want to be on the front page of Hacker News. So what the Groove team, the founders, did was to create a content showing um their audience exactly how they failed to appear on the front page of Hacker News, what they did about it, and the result that they got in the long run. So you can see here that they finally got on the front page of Hacker News. So that is a typical example of opinionated content. So they show their audience what they passed through before they got on the front page of Hacker News, and as soon as they did, they showed them exactly the steps that they took to get there. Another example that's of opinionated content from Groove team is this blog post about 26 blogs that helped our startup grow from $0 to $100,000 in monthly revenue. So you can see from this blog post that they shared an experience. So you can see here, this is actually from a question that they got from their audience, like any other startup blogs that you'd recommend. So like they now decided to share with their audience startup blogs that help them to grow their business from $0 to $100,000 in monthly revenue. So you can see here that it is an opinionated piece of content. So they shared exactly what they've learned over the years from reading startup blogs, and they also recommended the ones that they've personally like tried or gained from to their audience. And you can see here that their audience found it useful. So you can see 97 comments, a lot of people commenting about how they found the list useful. So that is for Groove. Another example of opinionated content done well is from Wistia. So Wistia is also a SaaS company. So one of their most read pieces on the blog is this, like how an offer to sell Wistia inspired us to take on $17 million in debt. So you can see here that the Wistia is a um like is most of their audience are founders. Okay, so most of their target audience are founders, so they create this piece of content to share with them exactly the challenge they had when a VC approached them to buy Wistia, why they decided not to sell it, and what they did, which was to took on debt. So they shared it in this article, and as you can see here, the article generated a lot of comments, over 147 comments from their readers, and a lot of them found the article helpful and valuable. So another example from the Wistia team is this, how to build a co-founder partnership that can last decades. So you can see here they shared exactly their experience building a co-founder partnership that has lasted their company so far. Another example from the Wistia team is this post about growing from within the company, 5 lessons we've learned. So you can see here they shared their experience on how they treat their employees at Wistia. So this is exactly a good example of opinionated content. So how can you start creating opinionated content for your SaaS brand? There are 3 ways you can go about it. The first way is to start a series sharing your journey or lesson. So you can go the way of Groove, how they did it by sharing your journey and lessons with your audience. So you can start a series depending on the kind of SaaS brand that you have, or the SaaS product that you built. So another way you can do that is to show vulnerability. The truth is that a lot of people like vulnerable, like they like others who are vulnerable. So when you can show them that you are vulnerable, they will relate well with you. They will see, they will put themselves in your shoes, and even in some cases they might decide to buy from you just because of that vulnerability that you showed them. So that is another way to build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand. And finally, you can take a stand on a controversial topic. So like the example I gave earlier about AI. So depending on the controversial topic in your industry. So you can take a specific stand on that controversial topic. And I can assure you that when you do, a lot of people will disagree with you and some people will agree with you. So those people that agree with you will definitely become loyal fans for your SaaS brand. So these exactly how you can build a loyal fan base for your SaaS brand using opinionated content. I hope you found this video useful, valuable, and helpful. If you do, I really appreciate it if you can give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it to others. And it will also be a pleasure if you can subscribe to this channel so that you can receive notifications whenever I share new videos like this. Have a great day ahead. Bye.